excluded from my sister's wedding, drama as I took a vacation. When the ceremony collapsed, my entire family desperately tried to get a hold of me. Have you ever felt so utterly dismissed by the people you love that it made something inside you just snap? Because that's exactly what happened when my own sister, my blood, decided I wasn't important enough to be at her wedding. It was a Tuesday afternoon, my small apartment quiet except for the hum of the refrigerator, when my phone vibrated with a message I'd read 5 times before the cold dread truly settled in. Hey, just wanted to let you know the guest list is finalized and we had to make some tough cuts. Hope you understand. Love you. Tough cuts. The words echoed in my head mocking me. I wasn't some distant cousin, a forgotten acquaintance. I was her brother. My sister Sophia, the same Sophia I'd pulled through every crisis, every heartbreak, every moment of self-doubt, had just cut me out like an afterthought. A slow, burning pang of disbelief spread through my chest. I almost laughed. It had to be a mistake. I snatched up my phone and called Carol, our mother. She answered on the second ring, her voice annoyingly cheerful. Hey, sweetheart. What's up? I didn't bother with pleasantries. I just got a message from Sophia. She says the guest list is finalized, and I'm not on it. There was a beat of silence, just long enough to confirm my worst suspicions. Oh, honey. Carol sighed, that familiar, placating tone she always used when she thought I was being unreasonable. It's just a wedding. Don't make a big deal out of this. Just a wedding. A hot, stinging coil tightened in my stomach. Are you serious, Mom? I asked, my voice strangely calm, almost hollow. I'm her brother. How am I not invited to my own sister's wedding? She made it ask sound like I was a toddler having a tantrum. It's not personal. They had to keep the guest list small. Mom. I cut her off. A new wave of anger over me. I just saw Sophia's Instagram post. She invited 150 people. Silence. Then a forced, awkward chuckle. Well, you know how things are. Weddings are expensive, and maybe they assumed you wouldn't mind skipping this one. Wouldn't mind? The words felt like a punch to the gut. Mom, I've been there for Sophia through everything. I helped her relocate twice. When she lost her job, we covered half her rent. I was the one who helped to get over her last breakup. But now I'm not good enough to be there on her special day. Oh, stop being dramatic, Carol remarked, another exasperated sigh. It's just one day, you're overreacting. I laughed then, a short, bitter sound devoid of humor. Overreacting, right? I could already see how this would play out. I'd argue Carol would shrug me off. Sophia would offer some half-hearted apology later, and I'd be expected to forgive and forget, because that's what I'd always done. But not this time. Something inside me snapped. If I wasn't worthy of inclusion, then fine. I wouldn't be. I hung up without another word and started browsing flights on my phone. If I wasn't planning to attend Sophia's wedding, I was going to be somewhere much, much nicer. I was going on vacation. The more I thought about it, the angrier I became. I wasn't typically one to get upset over trivial matters. I'd let so much slide with Sophia before. The forgotten birthdays, the calls only when she needed something. Carol always pushing me to be the understanding one. Sophia always getting away with murder. But this was a whole new level of disdain. I wasn't going to sit around moping while my sister and the rest of the family played happy little wedding without me. If I wasn't significant enough to be featured, then I wasn't significant enough to be present when they needed me. I grabbed my laptop. If Sophia was going to have the happiest day of her life, then I was going to have the best week of my life. It took less than an hour to plan. I booked all-inclusive accommodations at a 5-star resort in the Caribbean, a suite with an ocean view, spa services, access to a private beach. I'd always told myself such a trip was too pricey. Not this time. I wasn't just traveling for a holiday, I was making a statement. When the wedding weekend arrived, I was already on a plane, sipping champagne in first class. I made sure to upload a picture, legs extended, drink in hand, with a caption that read, "Wes, I got cut from the guest list, but I think I'll survive." The reactions were nearly immediate. My cousin Ethan sent laughing emojis. Aunt Brenda, bless her, the only rational one in the family, commented, "Good for you. Should have taken me with you." But the best reaction, that came from Carol. She sent me 3 texts in a row. "Where are you?" Followed by, "Are you seriously missing your sister's wedding over this?" And finally, "You're being petty." Petty. I wasn't even close to finished. I responded with a photo of the beach, white sand, crystal blue ocean, postcard, perfect view. Then I shut off my phone. I wasn't about to let them guilt me. Not this time. For the first time in years, I wasn't putting my family first. I was putting myself first, and it felt incredible. By the time I arrived in paradise, any lingering remorse had entirely evaporated. The moment I walked out of the airport, the warm ocean breeze hit me, carrying the scent of salt and tropical flowers. A private car was waiting to drive me to the resort, a stylish black SUV with chilled towels and bottled water in the back seat. Yeah, this was far better than a wedding. As we drove along the coast, I reflected on how right I'd been to do this. Back home, my family was presumably bustling, preparing for the big day. Carol was probably making excuses for my absence. Sophia was probably laughing with her bridesmaids, not giving me a second thought. But I wasn't treated as an afterthought here. Here I was the priority, my priority. The resort was something out of a fantasy. The lobby had enormous palm trees blooming inside, a massive open-air design that welcomed the ocean wind, and the kind of service where you were greeted with a cocktail before you even checked in. My room was unreal floor-to-ceiling windows, a private balcony, and the most gorgeous king-sized bed I'd ever seen. I threw down my things, stepped out onto the balcony, and just took it all in. Then, just to twist the knife a little more, I took a picture of the scenery and shared it with this caption. One door closes, another one opens, preferably to a beachside suite with unlimited margaritas. I knew it would find its way back to my family, and honestly I hoped it did. Because for once, they could understand what it was like to be left out, and I was only just getting started. The first full day of my trip was simply fantastic. I started the morning with room service, fluffy pancakes, fresh fruit, and coffee so good it ruined every other cup I'd ever tasted. Then I spent the entire day doing precisely what I wanted. No responsibilities. No family turmoil. Just me, the ocean, and a schedule focused only on my own enjoyment. By the afternoon, I was lounging on a sunbed by the infinity pool, martini in hand, watching the waves roll in. Every so often, I'd check my phone not to check in with my family, but to look at the growing number of responses to my vacation posts. The comments were gold. Cousin Ethan. Bro. Where are you even? Aunt Brenda. Okay, now you're just showing off. An old college acquaintance. Dude, invite me next time. Finally, a notification made me smirk. Sophia saw your article. Ah, now she was paying attention. I could just imagine her reaction sitting in the bridal room, sipping inexpensive champagne, scrolling through Instagram only to see me having the time of my life while she was anxious about her wedding. Good. I leaned back, took another sip of my drink, and thought, enjoy your special day, sis. I hope it's all you wanted. However, as the sun began to set, something unusual happened. My phone started to explode. Initially, I ignored it. I figured it was just more people reacting to my photos. But then I noticed the names Carol, Sophia, cousin Ethan, even Uncle Gary. Call after call. Texts coming in non-stop. I raised an eyebrow. Curiosity finally peaked, and eventually opened my phone. The first text I saw was from Carol. Call me. It's an emergency. An emergency. Attending my wedding. I sighed, debating if I really cared. Then Ethan sent another message. Dude, you are not going to believe what just happened. Oh, now I was curious. I sat up and scrolled through the texts, and I quickly understood that the universe had given me the nicest wedding gift I could have ever hoped for. Because, as it turned out, Sophia's beautiful wedding had gone up in flames. I scanned through a torrent of messages. My sneer grew with each one. Ethan, bro, you dodged a bullet. Carol, call me right now. This is a family crisis. Sophia, please, where are you? I need you. I stretched out in my lounge chair, took another drink of my cocktail, and continued scrolling. Then I found a message that made me laugh out loud. According to cousin Chloe, the groom simply walked out. I almost choked on my drink. The groom left. Oh, this was better than I could have expected. Curiosity got the best of me, so I eventually texted Ethan back. What do you mean he left? Ethan replied instantly, dude, during the reception, full meltdown. He and Sophia had some huge fight, and then he just walked out. Straight up left the venue. Another text from Ethan. Oh, and then Uncle Gary and Dad got into a screaming match over who was ruining the family's reputation. Grandma Rose cried. The venue cut the bar early. It's a mess. I leaned back, smirking. My sister had refused to let me attend the wedding, believing she didn't need me. And now, suddenly, I was the first person they all ran to. I could already hear Carol's voice in my head. You need to fix this. Sophia is devastated. Yeah, no thanks. I opened the next message. It came from Sophia. Answer your phone, please. I need you. Oh, now I was significant. I took a deep breath and typed back a single response. Sorry, I'm a little busy enjoying my overreaction. Hope the wedding was fun. And then I blocked her phone number. I blocked Carol. I even blocked Ethan just in case he got drawn into their guilt trip operation. Then I turned my phone to do not disturb mode, waved over the bartender, ordered another drink. Because while my family spiraled, I was in paradise. And for once, I wasn't bothered. The following morning, I awoke to the sound of waves breaking on the shore. The aroma of the sea and tropical flowers wafted through my open balcony doors. I stretched and yawned, and for one lovely minute, I almost forgot about the pandemonium at home. Almost. Then I looked at my phone. Even though I'd blocked the majority of my family, I still had more than 20 missed calls from random numbers. They'd tried everything to contact me. Several voicemails had slipped through. Despite my better judgment, I pressed play on the first one. Carol's voice, frantic. "I don't know what you think you're doing, but this is not the time for one of your tantrums. Your sister is devastated, and we need you here. This family needs to stick together right now." I rolled my eyes before deleting it. Next voicemail, Sophia, crying. "I don't understand why you're doing this. You're my brother. I need you. Please just call me back." Click. Deleted. The following one had me laughing. Ethan, whispering as if he were hiding in a closet. "Dude, Mom and Aunt Brenda are planning to show up at your apartment when you get back. Just a heads up. Also, Grandma Rose keeps saying the wedding was cursed because you weren't there. It's hilarious." That voicemail, I saved. I tossed my phone on the bed and stepped out onto the balcony. The sun had just begun to rise, painting a golden glow over the ocean. I took a deep breath, allowing the warmth of it to sink in. Back at home, my family was scrambling to perform damage control. Meanwhile, I was here, sipping espresso while wearing a bathrobe, enjoying the best decision I'd ever made. And the best part, they were now feeling what I had felt when they cut me out. Unwanted, forgotten, left out. It was rather poetic, actually. But I wasn't finished yet. I grabbed my phone, took a photo of my breakfast, fluffy pancakes, fresh fruit, and a mimosa so brilliant it might blind someone, and posted it with this caption: "Starting my day stress-free. Hope everyone back home is doing okay." Then, just for fun, I went through my blocked messages, grinned at all the missed calls, and ordered another mimosa. I didn't intend to call them back. Let them clean up their own mess. I was on vacation. By midday, I was relaxing under a secluded cabana, sipping a tropical drink with an umbrella when my phone vibrated again. This time the message came from Cousin Chloe. "Okay, I know you're mad, and honestly you deserve to be, but you have to hear what happened after the wedding. Call me? You're gonna love this?" I raised an eyebrow. Chloe had always been the only cousin with a brain. If she said I needed to hear something, it was probably worth the time. So, despite my better judgment, I called her. She answered on the first ring. "Oh my God, you're finally answering," she shrieked, unable to contain her joy. "Okay, are you sitting down?" I gazed out at the vast ocean in front of me, nestled in my shaded cabana, chilled beverage in hand. "Yeah, I think I'm in a good place for whatever this is." Chloe let out a breathless laugh. "Okay." After Mark left, Sophia had a complete meltdown. And I don't mean a few tears. I mean yelling, wailing, and throwing objects at the wedding party. I smirked. "Sounds about right." Chloe continued, her voice brimming with enthusiasm. Everyone was trying to calm her down. "And get this, Carol overheard Aunt Brenda suggest that the disaster could have been avoided if you'd been there." I blinked. "Wait, what?" Chloe giggled. "Yes. She was saying that you've always been the one to mend problems when Sophia spirals, that if you were present, you would have talked sense into Mark or handled everything like you normally do." I burst into laughter. "So, let me get this straight. The same family that barred me from the wedding is now blaming me for not being present to save it." "Oh, it gets better," Chloe remarked. "Carol told Brenda she was being ridiculous, and then they started fighting loudly. Then Grandma Rose got involved, saying Sophia brought this on herself because she offended the cosmos by not inviting her brother." I almost choked on my drink. Chloe was cackling now. "Grandma lectured Sophia in front of everyone, stating if you had treated your family better, you wouldn't be alone in your wedding dress right now." I leaned back, smirking. "Wow, that's beautiful. Oh, and then," Chloe added, "Carol attempted to contact Mark's family to resolve the situation." She paused for dramatic effect. His mother just smiled and said, "This is your issue now." I had to set down my drink before I spit it from laughing so hard. "So," I said, collecting my breath, "where does that leave Sophia?" Chloe sighed. "Still weeping. Still blaming everyone except herself. Last I heard, she was trying to save the wedding with some sort of backup plan. But let's be honest, she's not going to recover from this." I shook my head, grinning. "You know what the best part is?" "What?" I took a slow sip from my drink. "I don't care." Chloe roared with laughter. "Honestly, I don't blame you. I just thought you'd appreciate knowing that karma did its job." "Oh, I love knowing that," I remarked, still smirking. "Thanks for the update, Chloe." "No problem," she replied. "Enjoy your trip, and for the record, you did the right thing." I hung up, more satisfied than I had been in years. They wanted a wedding without me. And now, thanks to their own selfishness, They had a disaster instead. I picked up my drink and raised it to the heavens. To the best decision I've ever made. Then I turned off my phone and relaxed back in my cabana, let the beach air sweep away the rest of my lingering frustrations. For the remainder of the day, I didn't look at my phone. Instead, I scheduled a sunset cruise, allowed the warm breeze to wash over me, and had a 5-star meal by the seaside. My family was still picking up the pieces from Sophia's wedding tragedy. I was enjoying the greatest steak I'd ever had. At some point, a notion occurred to me perhaps I should feel sorry for her. Then I remembered how she left me out without hesitation. Yeah. No. I took a sip from my wine. I took one last shot of the view and shared it with one caption, "Zero regrets." Finally, with a contented smile, I turned off my phone again, let them stew. I was done being their backup plan. The following morning, I awoke feeling lighter than I have in years. No guilt, no tension, no last-minute family emergencies that became my job to solve. Just myself and the sound of waves and an entire day of nothing but rest. I stretched, ordered room service, and out of curiosity I turned my phone back on. Big mistake. Within seconds, my notification surged. "Carol, you need to stop acting like a child and call me." "Sophia, I can't believe you're doing this to me. You are so selfish." "Carol again. This isn't funny." Sophia's heartbroken. "Do you even care?" An unknown number, possibly Aunt Brenda. "One need to fix this family before it's too late." I groaned and shook my head. It was almost surprising how swiftly they moved from ignoring me to expecting me to cure everything. Then one message caught my attention. "Okay, I understand you are ignoring everyone, but please read this. Your mother is trying to gather the family for a discussion when you return. Just a heads up." I almost laughed aloud. Oh, they assumed I would just return as if nothing had happened, as if I'd just show up and let their guilt trip me and pretend the entire thing never occurred. "Yeah, not happening," I quickly replied to Chloe. "Thanks for the warning, but I won't be there." "Chloe, wait, what do you mean?" I'm extending my trip. They wanted to cut me out?" "Okay, I'm cutting myself off altogether." I could almost see her reaction, a combination of astonishment and amusement. A few seconds later, she responded, "Okay, that's iconic. Tell me everything when you get back, whenever that is, lol." I grinned, set down my phone, and grabbed my laptop. With a few clicks, my trip was officially extended. Another entire week. No family. No drama, no family discussions, just me and the water. They never allowed me to have peace. And the best part, they couldn't do anything about it. Before going to the beach, I sent one final text to Carol and Sophia. "Oh, so you want me around?" "Sorry, I'm too busy enjoying my overreactions. Have fun cleaning up your own messes." Then for the last time, I blocked their numbers. I put my phone down, ordered another drink, and let the sun warm my skin. No guilt, no tension, no regrets, just peace. And it was the best decision I've ever made. So, I've shared my story. It's been a wild ride, and honestly, I wouldn't change a thing. But I'm still curious, if you were in my shoes, would you have done the same? Or would you have gone back to try and pick up the pieces? Let me know in the comments below. I'm really interested to hear your thoughts.